Here in Washington, 5:30 out in Austin, Texas tonight, and a live look at the state capitol there, where the state's Republicans have just advanced a measure to adopt newly redrawn congressional maps. The new maps will give Republicans an edge in that state in 2026, potentially adding 5 more congressional seats that, if you just sort of mapped it all out, no pun intended, would then go for the GOP. And it sent ripple effects across the political spectrum, no matter where you live. For example, in California, Gavin Newsom has now pledged to fight back, calling for a special election to redraw his state's maps to open more seats for Democrats there. Now, states usually carve up their maps at the turn of the decade. There's the decade, you get the census, and then they draw the stuff. But now, other states across the country, both red and blue, are opening the door to redistricting because of all this. Could have big implications for the next year's elections there in the midterms. Chris Stirewalt, Mick Mulvaney, Chris Cillizza to join me in a moment. But first, to the bottom right of the Brady boxes, and our Joe K here with what just happened. Joe, they just, I guess, made it official in the Texas Senate moments ago.
Yeah, like literally a couple of moments ago. So the vote, after all day of debate and all of that, it passed 88 to 52, as was expected. They finally had a quorum. The Democrats who'd been gone finally showed up again today. So it passed. So the bottom line is this. There are 5 new congressional seats that lean Republican. Republicans think that in 2026, they now have a better chance to increase their delegation from 25 to 30 Republicans from Texas. That's not a guarantee. But over in California, as you mentioned, Gavin Newsom also vowing to fight back. Their state legislature is working through this process right now, too. This week, NewsNation, our colleague Jackie Coppell got to ask him a question today, Governor Gavin Newsom, basically asking why did he choose this route of doing the legislature, but then also putting it on the ballot for voters rather than trying to just do it the Texas way. Apparently, he had a couple of different options. This is what he said about that decision.
We believe in the fundamental democratic principles. We want to do it in a democratic way. So it's the most transparent way. And I think it's the best approach. And I think it requires, if we're going to fight fire with fire.
So here's the big thing to watch, Blake, is for Texas, this is done now. Legislature, that's it. If California does the same thing in their legislature, their battle really is just beginning because they're now going to need to do the sell job to voters. That's going to be tough.
I said Texas Senate. I obviously meant Texas House. Talk to me about the bathroom.
So what
happened in the bathroom today, Joe K?
So one of the Texas state representatives, all of the Democrats, were not allowed to leave the House chamber without a police escort. Only could go to the bathroom and the House floor. That's it. So Nicole Collier, one of the more high-profile ones, did a Zoom call with several high-profile Democrats. And where would she go? She couldn't do it from the floor. She went to the bathroom in a stall and was Zooming with hundreds of people in DNC. And there was a point where somebody came in and said something to her, and she said, "I'm being told I'm committing a felony by doing this in the bathroom, so I got to leave." I will say the bathrooms in the state capitol in Austin look very nice. They look much nicer based on that Zoom angle than what we got at the Capitol.
All right, Joe K. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Back with me now, Chris Stirewalt, Mick Mulvaney, and Chris Cillizza. Gentlemen, hello to you all. Thank you for being here. I guess from the race to the bottom, Chris, in one way, to the race to the toilet, that's where they are with all of this.
I'd gone all day and I didn't know that about, and now I'm depressed, right? I had gone all day. I had not heard about the person live streaming. I guess I shouldn't say live streaming, but whatever it was from the commode in the Texas state capitol. And now I know, and we're all dumber for it.
We are all dumber for it. All right. So talk to me about what this all means, not just in Texas, because we know Chris, but nationally now. I mean, look, I was looking at the numbers today. There are 22 districts that lean one way or another, 18 districts, give or take, that are toss-ups. Let's call it 36 or so. How much of what happens in Texas affects that?
The cockamamie-ness of the determinalism here, where I'm listening to Republicans say they definitely have 5 seats, Democrats saying they definitely have 5 seats in California. Here's the deal. It is the climate, the national climate, will be determinative of how the midterm election goes. If Donald Trump has a 39% job approval rating, it doesn't matter how Texas redraws its maps, the Republicans are going to get spanked. Conversely, if Donald Trump has a 48% job approval rating, California Democrats are going to have a big problem because they're going to nudge themselves into a bunch of districts. So I get the back and forth. I see how it engaged and enlivened Democrats. I see how this could blow up on Republicans. I see it all, but I would just remind everybody that in the end, midterm elections are a referendum on the party in power, and that's what this one will be too.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.